Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers! In today's video, I thought I'd dive the depths of the workshop to find a really old design, and well, this one that I found is very good looking for how old it is. It was released back in May 2016, less than a year after the planets got added to the game, and it's called the Chronos Station, which is this lovely thing that I'm currently standing on. So this is a very well-armed station featuring rocket launchers, gatling guns. It's got everything you need for survival mode. We've got plenty of assemblers on there, lots and lots of large refineries, all with modules attached onto them. We're powered by both hydrogen and atmospheric thrusters, where we do have plenty of thrust all the way around this, so we can fly this like a ship, get it to where we want it to go, then of course convert it to a station once we're happy. We've got two docking pads that are suitable for small and medium ships. We also have docking pads on each side where a large ship can come and drive up to it and connect up that way, where you can see it right there in the middle. Got fairly sizey interior that doesn't have any kind of decorations because none of the DLC packs were present at the time, and I don't think any of the decorative mod packs were on the workshop as well, and I think it's time for me to press F10 and find it in the spawn menu. So the Chronos Station, if I can spell correctly, is, there it is, 3,229 large blocks. We can see here there was created from a different design. There was one called the Orbital Station, created by this person right here, where the Carl machine took that design and refitted it, redesigned it, but using the base structure as the template. So go and give this thing a thumbs up, move around to wherever I was standing, we'll use this as the very front, we'll have a quick look around the outside, we're going to take a tour of the interior, then I suppose what we can do is crash it down into the moon surface, because there's not too much else you can do with this station. And if you are interested in Skybox, there will be a link to it in the description below. It's another very colourful one with yellows, we've got blues, we've got greens, and a little bit of black here and there, which does look very nice from moon surfaces. But anyway, at the very front, for the Chronos Station, this is what we get, and this is one or two of our medium docking pads for your ships come and dock up to. Got some lovely use of our black and yellow blocks to go all around the outside. These days you would generally replace that with the actual hazard skin from the DLC packs, but still it's a very novel way of getting around that all those years ago. Right in the very middle is our connector to actually dock up and unload and collect up anything from this station. If we come all the way down below that, we can see how it's all being connected up to the main body of the station, as well as some unfinished blocks, just add some decoration. If we were to move up and above this part, we can see our solar panels giving it some renewable power, as well as a bunch of auction farms to make sure we don't suffocate when we're moving around on the inside. Moving slightly up further, here we go, we can see some hydrogen thrusters to move us down. Then moving slightly past all these, towards this section, this is your glass control room, where we've got a bunch of flight seats so we can fly in all directions without the camera being all wonky, but only one of them is set up with actual controls. We'll see that a bit later on. Down to this section, we've got some cryopods for a quick little recharge, and a bunch of seats for your passengers to sit on, as well as some time blocks controlling stuff for our door system. And then down here, we've got another little section, which will eventually lead us all the way down and over to our docking pads. If we were to move across over here, so we've got this lovely ring that connects up to this section that we just saw, but we once again got some more hydrogen thrusters, auction farms, solar panels. There's a gatling gun for some protection on the top, there's some rocket launchers for some protection down below, there's an antenna on the side to make sure we can always find this thing. Moving all the way down to here, so we've got some more atmospheric thrusters to move us on the left and right. Very handy if we're using this station on a planet. And here's your large ship connection point, where you will need to make sure that it can fit between that and that down there. Make sure it doesn't bump into anything and cause some damage. Anyway, past this section, we then got one hell of a lot of large refineries, all with modules attached onto them to refine up pretty much everything you'll ever need. And they do come with a bunch of stuff on the inside. So here's what it looks like. It's just a big old hodgepodge of modules and conveyors just linking everything together. That just comes all the way down to this section, all the way down till we get some gyroscopes, make sure we can move this thing around. We see how it's all being connected up, then moves further down to some large hydrogen tanks, large cargo containers, a couple of reactors for some more power, just in case our batteries and solar panels are not enough. That also comes across to a bunch of auction tanks, so we can store up everything from our auction farms. And then down to here, we can see even more of our atmospheric thrusters, but this time we've got large ones, which should be very useful, keeping you afloat, especially on planets that have high gravity. Then as we were to move all the way down towards the very bottom there, some fantastic use of our interior pillars, just adding as fake antenna. Okay, that goes all the way down here, it's very far down from the station. But then looking all the way up a bit, that's what that looks like, so a bunch of thrusters, then a bunch of steel blocks on the outside. But as for the steel blocks on the outside, they are where our hydrogen thrusters are being housed. So as you saw at the bottom there, we did have a large one to keep us off the ground. Then as we move all the way up this side section, we see another large one and a couple small ones to move us on our left and right, forwards and backwards. We also have a bunch more gatling guns for a bit more defense, so we are very well armed on this station. Could even use this to assault pirate base if you wanted to. Moving all the way back up, and I think that's pretty much it for the outside. And suppose before we actually go around it on foot, that's what it looks like from the top. And there we are with that. So yes, it looks bloody fantastic from the outside. For such an old design, it works so well and fits the general theme of Space Engineers, where it could even be a generic NPC spawn, which I suppose these days with the Modular Encounter Systems mod, they always add it in that way. Anyway, grabbing hold of my character, now it's time to walk around here. So this is our medium and small docking pad where, compared to the character, it's gonna have to be quite a flat ship to be able to land down on this pad without damaging that top section. We now walk all the way up to this. We don't have to go all the way inside. We can always just walk around this section if we need to, get a good view on the inside, and of course look at our turrets up there. So we just come around to here, and then we'll open up this doorway. So we have a double door for an airlock. We have a button panel in the middle which is just for me to open and close the doors. Where number 1 is open the interior, number 4 is to open the exterior. So we just go and press that, and now that opens up, allows us to walk inside. And this is what we're first greeted with. Above us, we've got ourselves an auction tank. And around the room here, we can see some steps that lead further up. Button panels on the side there to open and close this door so we don't have to actually click on the door. And around here, there's your medical bay to respawn on and to change outfit. There's a cargo container for a quick access to load stuff in and out. And as you can see, we do have a bunch of stuff already in the station. We've got components, got oxygen bottles, and then we've got some raw resources. Anyway, coming out of that and around to this section, there's the window we saw, so we'll be able to come through the door. And around towards the opposite side will be our steps to go all the way up. This doorway will take us to the opposite side where that other docking pad was. So around to here, there's the docking pad, up these steps, then all the way around. There are time blocks dotted all about this station which do stuff with the door and controlling of course the air vents to make sure you don't lose all the oxygen out. But I'm not actually too sure how they're set up or what they do. I've just got to leave them for the moment. Anyway, walking all the way up around to here, we're now up to that glass section we saw towards the top of this building. We've got ourselves air vents in the top there, got some interior lights to make sure it's not too dark. There's a gravity generator to make sure we don't float away. There's conveyors that are linked from the bottom to the top of the station. Then round to there, another time block with another light in the ceiling. Then over to here, we've got ourselves a passage, the very old passage. This does look very dated compared to the newer ones, just using a bit of decoration below our steps. So walking past this and coming around to this section, we see another light up here, and plenty of room for you to decorate if you do want to use the DLC packs on this station. Anyway, up to there is another air vent. Then come around to this section, up these steps, we'll eventually come around to another section that will feature our cryopods. So up to here, around this section, up another set of steps, and here is our lovely yellow cryopod to recharge yourself on with a bunch of interior seats for your passengers to sit on as this station wants to move around. I suppose because we do have plenty of seats on this, you can always attach a jump drive onto this and use it to jump to another planet. Anyway, we've got a fantastic view down below at our small docking pads, and of course our large ones on the side. We get clear view of where our turrets are shooting and if any blocks are damaged. And suppose we just walk around this section, we've got another cryopod in a yellow colouring. And past to here, there's our conveyors that go across to our turrets on the side and our solar panels. I suppose, not too much else to talk about in this section, so we'll have to head further up. Now coming up to this section is going to take us to our control seats, or flight seats even, where we'll be able to fly this thing around. But like I said earlier, only one seat is actually set up for all the controls for the station. This is what we get. It's got a fantastic view all the way around us, especially above there on that little round knobbly part. And of course to the lovely Skybox that will be in the description below. So we've got 4 seats, we can fly in all directions without the camera getting very wonky. And then we've got a bunch of button panels in the middle there with a programmable block right next to it. If we were to come up to this, they're all going to be basically the same. Maybe we'll have to enter in this one because it's very hard to see because the sunlight is directly onto it. We've got controls for our rocket launchers and our gatling guns to turn them on and off. And then one for our battery, which is currently broken. If we were to come out of that one, move around to this one. We then got controls for our thrusters, we've got our hydrogen thrusters, atmospheric thrusters, our batteries to auto recharge, and then our hydrogen tanks to turn them on and off. If we come around to this side, coming into here, clicking this, we then got our gatling guns, rocket launchers, and then batteries once again. Then we've got to come around over to the programmable block, entering into this one, coming into setup actions, here we are. We see we've got ourselves the resource exchanger script. Not actually too sure what it does, but from the looks of it, it looks like it balances out the reactors, make sure they've got equal uranium in each of them, so if one runs out, you don't have to go around and basically micromanage. But anyway, coming out of that and turning around over to the seats, so entering this, we've got nothing going on with it, entering this, nothing going on with it, entering that one, nothing going on with it. So by process of eliminations, this one will have all of our controls. And here we go. So number 1 is going to be to turn on and off our atmospheric thrusters, just in case we don't need it. Number 2 is for your batteries to turn them on and off. Number 3 is for your gatling guns to turn them on and off. Number 4 is for your hydrogen tanks to turn them on and off. Number 5 is then for your hydrogen thrusters around the ship. But it doesn't turn them all off, no, it only turns off some of them, which I'm presuming is a little mistake with this station. probably from the game being updated over the years, breaking stuff with how it's all been set up. So we're just going to turn them back on for now. Number 6 is then for your rocket launchers, turn them on and off. And as for that, that's it for all the controls. So what I'm going to do is now reline the camera, here we go, press I, come into info, convert this to a ship because we can fly this thing around if you want to. And as you expect from a large space station, this thing is bloody slow in all directions, but due to the way the seats have been set up, it's not too bad to actually drive around, because say if we want to fly backwards, we can now just fly it like so. Makes it very easy to get it into a place where you want it. As for that, that's pretty much it for the Chronos Station has to offer. It's a fantastic looking station for something that is so old that, well, it's basically around the time that the planets got added to the game. So what I'm going to do is now raise this all the way up with the power of our hydrogen thrusters and a little bit for the atmospheric thrusters, which are in a bit of a gravitational field. Then we're going to slam all the way down onto the moon's surface, and that'll be that for this video. And here we go, we're now charging along towards the moon's surface at maximum speed. Any second now we're going to slam straight into it, but I have a feeling those interior pillars below the station are going to absorb most of the impact, and we're going to be largely in one piece, but hopefully it will just explode into many little pieces, and there'll be nothing left. So here we go, all the way down, and there we are. That's basically what I predicted was going to happen. The interior pillars have absorbed all the impact. Now we can lift this up and away and go put it back to where it was. So as for that, like I said, that's pretty much it for this station. Not too much else to talk about. It's a very good station to use in survival mode if you do want to have something big to start on with in your adventure. And there'll be a link to the description below, along with a link to Skybox I'm currently using. And I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.